We've got your proof.
Which letter? Which
We've
letter?
got your
Bring the
proof.
letter.
Let me find it. Let me find it.
Nobody heard the letter.
Let me find it. Let me find it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. Hey.
Here we go. 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 Are you ready, guys? Here's another example that you won't be able to answer.
Tell me what the letter is. You said two letters.
So here's the second letter.
No. Tell me what's the letter.
Listen.
It's the first letter or the second letter?
Heraclius then wrote a letter to his friend. Everybody say friend.
Amigo.
Friend. In Rome, who was as good as Heraclius in knowledge. Heraclius then left for Homs, and a town in Syria, and stayed there till he received a reply of his letter from his friend, who agreed with him in his opinion about the emergence of the prophet. So the Hadith is claiming to have knowledge about the contents of private correspondence between the Emperor of Rome and his friend. I'm now going to ask the Muslim expert of Hadith one simple question, and he won't be able to answer the question. My question is this: how did the Hadith narrator get the knowledge of the contents of the letter?
How do you know about
Go
the
on,
letter?
son.
How do you know about the letter if it's a private letter? How do you know about the letter? And you said it was
Because
two letters.
your Hadiths lie.
You see?
Your
How
Hadiths
does the letter
lie
go?
and make it up.
You see how
They
how
tell
it
a
was?
fiction.
How do you? Is the letter Sahih or not?
The lie is in your
Let
Hadith.
me ask you something. Is the letter Sahih or not?
According to your Hadiths.
No. You
Which,
said
what
it
does
was
that
the
say?
letter.
What does that say?
Sahih Hadith.
Sahih Hadith.
All
So
Sahih.
is knowledge of the letter Sahih or not?
Yeah?
Is knowledge of the letter Sahih or not?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
So how did he get knowledge of the letter?
How do you know about the letter?
Did he speak?
How do you know? Is the letter?
Did he speak to Heraclius?
Let me ask you something.
Did Sahih al-Bukhari
Right.
speak to Heraclius?
Listen, in history.
Did Sahih al-Bukhari speak to the friend of Heraclius?
Don't be talking through.
Go on, answer the question.
Listen, how do you know about the letter?
Answer my question.
How did the letter get out?
Because your
How did the letter
Hadiths
go down?
lie. The letter never existed.
How you know
The
the
letter never
You got a
existed.
letter.
Your Hadiths are lying
How
to
did the letter
you.
get out? How did
Answer
the
the
letter
question.
get out?
Great
How
question.
did the letter? How did the letter
Answer
get
that
out?
question. That's the
Right.
question I'm asking
Right.
you.
Yes. How
I'm
did-
asking you
got
that
the letter. You
question.
got the letter.
He's not even
You got
thinking.
the letter.
In the context of the 7th century, there is absolutely no evidence that Emperor Heraclius ever received a letter from Muhammad. Contemporary Byzantine, Latin, and Syriac sources focus on very different events: the Great War between Byzantium and Persia, the recovery of the True Cross, and the restoration of Christian orthodoxy. All of these records are completely silent about the rise of Islam, let alone any diplomatic correspondence from an Arab prophet. This total silence within the meticulous record-keeping culture of Byzantium is, in itself, a powerful fact. In modern historiography, the absence of evidence in a civilization that documented almost every diplomatic exchange can only mean one thing: the event never happened. It was only 2 centuries later, when the Abbasid Empire had consolidated power and Islam had become a global force, that the story of Heraclius appeared in the form we know today, through Sahih al-Bukhari. The Islamic world of that era was striving to define its own identity as the sole heir of divine truth. Within that context, the idea that even the greatest Christian emperor once acknowledged Muhammad's prophethood became ideologically valuable. The story was never meant to record history. It functioned as a symbolic narrative, a statement of theological supremacy within the empire's expanding religious and political world. The Isnad system then acted as a bridge between belief and legitimacy. By constructing long, detailed chains of narrators, Hadith compilers created the impression that this story had ancient roots and eyewitness authenticity. Yet through the lens of modern historiography, Isnad is not a tool of historical verification. It is a mechanism of doctrinal validation. It reflects an oral Arab culture that measured truth not by written documentation, but by the moral reputation of its transmitters. What the 8th and 9th centuries ultimately passed down was not the factual memory of the 7th, but a theology carefully shaped into a historical narrative. From the standpoint of modern scholarship, the Hadith about Heraclius is not a testimony. It is a theological construction, revealing how Islam rewrote history to expand the legitimacy of its prophet. Bukhari and his generation were not documenting events. They were creating a historical framework that aligned with their creed. The letter to Heraclius never existed. What existed was the conviction that it had to exist, so that Islam could appear divinely recognized by the world.
Imam Bukhari is lying to you. Yes, exactly. Imam Bukhari wrote it by himself. He lied. These guys are so slow in wit and intelligence, they can't even follow the argument. Ladies and gentlemen, this hadith states that Imam Bukhari knew the contents of private correspondence between Emperor Heraclius and his friend in Rome. But the Muslims can't tell me how Sahih al-Bukhari or anyone in the Isnad chain came to that information. If they cannot tell me how they came to that information, then we have evidence that Sahih al-Bukhari has fabricated history and made up a lie, and that means Sahih al-Bukhari is not reliable. Now reply. Go on, reply.
How did they get the letter?
That's a great question. That's the question I've been asking you for 10 minutes, and you've not answered the question. How did he know? Answer the question.
It's not. It's a chain of narrations coming all the way down.
So who got the letter? Who got the letter?
Well, the letter?
Who got the letter?
It didn't say specifically who got the
It doesn't say specifically.
No.
Did you all hear that? He admits he doesn't know who got knowledge of the letter. So in other words, the Isnad chain has lies in it, and it's being called Sahih. Is that how Isnad works? Expert of Isnad chain.
Listen.
Go on.
Our religion is authentic. Unlike you.
Answer the question.
Unlike you.
Answer the question.
Your religion is a fake.
I've shown you that your Sahih Bukhari has a lie in it. You don't have an answer. You can't. So how did you get the letter? How did he get the letter? Isnad is not an answer.
It is an answer.
Which person in the Isnad chain got the letter? Which person? It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Isnad is not an argument. Isnad is not an answer.
We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're part of one.
We're talking about this. We're talking about this.
Why are you living in the past?
He's running away. He's running away.
I don't have to run anyway.
So,
because you're loud and you're stupid.
So
you don't
answer
listen.
the question.
You're dumb.
Answer the question.
I answered the question already.
Isnad is not an answer.
Isnad is a chain of narration.
It's not an answer to the argument.
You got 40 people in the room. Answer me the question.
According to your
40 people in a
biographies,
room, nothing they came
where
to the
does
room.
it say 40?
Yeah?
Where does it say
Well,
40?
you said a lot of people was in the room.
No, I didn't.
Right?
I
You
didn't.
wrote a letter to his friend.
You see, you're lying.
How did the letter
No
come
one
out?
can trust
How
you in
did
this
the letter-
chain
How did the letter come
because
out?
you're lying.
How did the letter
Your
come out?
hadith reports are not reliable. Your hadith reports are hadith da'if.
Listen, you're just loud. You're just loud.
You can't answer the question
You're not listening.
because
That's the problem.
your answer was
You believe
Isnad.
because you can shout loud
Look.
that you got a proof.
And you believe if you
rubbish.
repeat the word Isnad, you've given an argument. But the word Isnad is not an argument.
Yes.
The point that I'm making to you, so show me which one in the chain got the letter.
Okay. Anybody could have done it.
He doesn't know. And
Historically-
why doesn't he know?
historically-
Because it's a lie.
There's a lot of letters.
It's
that
made
written
up.
by many people. Right? And it's recorded. It's been recorded.
Where? Where's the letter?
It could be in one of the Roman.
There's no
archaeologists.
letter.
Yeah, why not?
There's no
Why is
letter.
there no letter? So you're saying the emperor fabricated all of this?
No, I'm saying Sahih al-Bukhari
You
or
fabricated.
someone in the
And
Isnad
who
chain
wrote the letter?
fabricated this.
You said he wrote a letter to his friend. Where's the
No,
letter?
no, I
You know
don't
that
say
emperor.
it. I
know
don't
that
say
emperor
it.
became a Muslim.
I'm saying,
You know that
I'm
member.
saying
You know that Muslim. You know that
that
emperor.
the Isnad
You know the emperor
chain,
became a
someone
Muslim.
in the Isnad chain is lying. That's what I'm saying.
In modern historiography, the credibility of an event is not determined by faith in the text, but by the strength of the historical evidence supporting it. Historians apply three main criteria: proximity, temporal closeness to the event, multiple attestation, independent corroboration, and coherence, consistency with historical context. When these methods are applied to the Hadith about Heraclius, the story claiming that the Byzantine emperor received a letter from Muhammad, the entire narrative collapses under academic scrutiny. From the standpoint of proximity, the Hadith appears far too late. The story was only compiled by al-Bukhari in the 9th century, nearly 200 years after Muhammad's death. Before that, it circulated orally with no contemporary documentation. In modern historical analysis, such a long gap allows distortion and embellishment, especially when no first-hand written record exists. By contrast, the Gospels were written within one generation of Jesus' ministry, during a time when eyewitnesses were still alive, giving them far greater temporal credibility. In terms of multiple attestation, the Hadith about Heraclius stands alone. No Byzantine, Latin, or Syriac Christian chronicle ever mentions a letter from an Arab prophet to the Emperor of Rome. It's truly striking. The Byzantine Empire was famous for its careful record-keeping and detailed diplomatic archives. They documented everything. Yet there's absolutely no record of any letter from Muhammad to Emperor Heraclius. Heraclius himself is one of the most well-documented figures of the 7th century, with nearly every major political decision preserved in imperial archives and church histories. The complete absence of any reference to such a letter indicates that the story did not arise from history, but from a later internal tradition crafted to project a sense of universality upon Islam's mission. When tested for coherence, the narrative fails once again. The content of the Hadith does not fit the geopolitical and religious context of Heraclius's time. The Byzantine Empire had just triumphed in a long and brutal war against Persia and was celebrating the recovery of the true cross, the ultimate symbol of Christian victory. In such a climate, the idea that the emperor would consider following a prophet from Arabia is completely inconsistent with the realities of the period. The Hadith portrays Heraclius as almost embracing Islam, yet all historical evidence shows that he remained a steadfast Christian until his death.